Stop thinking about Big Macs for a second. McDonald's isn't a restaurant company. It's a real estate empire that happens to sell burgers. And the guy who built it, he stole it through the most expensive handshake deal in history.
Wait, what? Real estate?
Yeah, here's the thing. Two brothers invented the McDonald's system. The golden arches, the 30-second service, the whole operation. They were geniuses. But a 52-year-old struggling milkshake salesman named Ray Kroc saw something they didn't. A way to turn their perfect restaurant into a billion-dollar machine. And he did it by recognizing one truth they missed. You're not in the burger business. You're in the real estate business.
That's insane.
That's why we're simple storytellers, making complex business crystal clear. And that handshake deal cost the brothers billions. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how Ray Kroc pulled off one of the most ruthless and brilliant business moves in American history. Let's break it down.
Okay, wait, back up. What's the movie even about?
It's called The Founder, and it follows Ray Kroc, this 52-year-old milkshake mixer salesman who's been failing his whole life. He's driving across the country getting doors slammed in his face, right? Then one day, he gets this weird order. A single restaurant in San Bernardino, California wants to buy 8 of his mixers.
Why is that weird?
Because most restaurants barely need one. 8 mixers means they're making 40 milkshakes at the same time. Ray can't figure it out, so he drives out there himself to see what's going on. And what he finds changes everything.
What do you find?
2 brothers, Dick and Mac McDonald, running the most revolutionary restaurant he's ever seen. They're serving burgers in 30 seconds instead of 30 minutes. The place is packed with families. Everything's clean, fast, and consistent. They call it the Speedee Service System.
So what's the business angle here?
The brothers built a perfect system, but they're thinking small, just one restaurant. Ray sees something bigger. He sees a system that could work in every town in America. So he convinces them to let him franchise it.
And that's where it all goes wrong?
That's where it gets complicated. Every entrepreneur eventually faces this choice. Do you stay small and perfect, or do you scale and risk losing control?
Okay, so how did Ray pull it off?
Let me show you. It starts with understanding what made the brothers' system so special.
And hey, if you're enjoying this breakdown, hit that subscribe button. We break down business movies like this every single week.
Yeah, at Simple Storytellers, we make complex business crystal clear. All right, here's what most people miss about this story. Ray Kroc wasn't a genius inventor. He was a 52-year-old guy who'd failed at basically everything. But he had one skill that the McDonald brothers didn't. He could recognize an opportunity.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, think about it like this. When Ray got that order for 8 milkshake mixers, most salesmen would have just been happy about the commission, right? Ship the machines, cash the check, move on. But Ray couldn't let it go. He was like a doctor who sees an unusual symptom. He had to know what was causing it.
So the big order was the symptom?
Exactly. That's opportunity recognition. It's basically the skill of noticing when something doesn't fit the normal pattern and then being curious enough to investigate why.
Okay, I follow.
So Ray drives to California, and when he gets there, he sees something the brothers can't see. The brothers look at their restaurant and they see perfection. The perfect burger, the perfect system, the perfect local business.
And what does Ray see?
He sees a replicable system. Here's the difference. Imagine someone creates an incredible song. That's what the brothers did. But Ray, he saw the streaming platform. One creates art, the other creates distribution. The brothers were artists. Ray was thinking about scale.
So he's asking different questions.
Completely different. The brothers are asking, how do we make this restaurant perfect? Ray's asking, can this work in Des Moines? Can it work in Dallas? Can it work everywhere?
And the brothers?
They're asking, will it be perfect in those places? Different questions, different businesses. And here's where most people get this wrong. They think Ray saw a better burger. He didn't. He saw a better system. And that difference, that's what would eventually cost the brothers billions. Let me show you how.
Okay, so Ray saw the potential, but how do you actually scale a restaurant?
Great question. Ray's first plan was franchising.
Wait, what's franchising?
Okay, simple version. Franchising is like licensing your recipe. You own the secret sauce, but someone else cooks it in their own kitchen and pays you a percentage of their sales.
So they pay you to use your name and system.
Exactly. Ray convinced the brothers to let him franchise McDonald's. He'd find people who wanted to open their own McDonald's, and Ray would get 1.4% of their sales.
That's it? 1.4%?
That's it. On a $1 burger, Ray made 1.4 cents. Let me give you the math. To make $100,000 a year, you'd need to sell over 7 million burgers.
Wow, that's a lot of burgers.
Right? So Ray starts selling franchises. His first buyers, his rich friends from the country club.
That sounds like a good plan.
It was a disaster.
What happened?
These guys didn't follow the system. They added fried chicken, tacos, corn on the cob. Their kitchens were dirty. Service was slow. They were destroying the brand.
Why'd they mess it up?
Because they weren't hungry. They saw McDonald's as just another investment, like stocks or real estate. They weren't in the stores working. They had no skin in the game.
So what did Ray do?
This failure taught Ray the most important lesson about franchising. You need owner-operators, not investors.
What's the difference?
Owner-operators are people who invest their life savings. They're there at 5 a.m. mopping floors because it's their business. Ray stopped pitching to rich guys and started finding ambitious middle-class couples who would live and die by that restaurant's success.
That makes sense.
It worked. His new franchisees followed the system perfectly. Quality, service, cleanliness. Every location was identical. But even with perfect franchisees, Ray had a massive problem.
What was it?
He was going broke.
Wait, how? The restaurants were doing well.
That 1.4% wasn't enough. His costs, travel, lawyers, support, were higher than his income. He was about to lose everything. And then he met someone who changed everything, a guy named Harry Sonneborn. And what Harry told him in one sentence completely transformed McDonald's from a struggling franchise into a billion-dollar empire. So Ray's about to go bankrupt. He's got great franchisees, the restaurants are successful, but he's making almost nothing. Then Harry Sonneborn looks at his books and says 5 words that change everything.
What'd he say?
You're not in the burger business. You're in the real estate business.
Wait, what? Real estate?
I know, sounds crazy. But here's what Harry meant. Instead of just taking 1.4% of burger sales, Ray should buy the land the restaurant sits on.
I'm not following.
Okay, let me break it down step by step. Ray creates a new company, Franchise Realty Corporation.
Separate from McDonald's?
Exactly. This company buys the land. Then, the franchisee has to lease the land from Ray to open their McDonald's.
So they're paying rent?
Yep. And here's the magic. That rent is way bigger than 1.4% of burger sales. On $10,000 in monthly sales, Ray was making $140, but he could charge $2,000 in rent.
Wait, that's like 14 times more.
14 times more. And it's guaranteed every month, even if burger sales are slow.
That's genius.
If that just clicked for you, hit that like button. This is the kind of insight that changes how you think about business.
Seriously? This one concept is worth the whole video.
But it gets better. This didn't just give Ray money, it gave him power.
Power how?
As the landlord, if a franchisee didn't follow his rules, if they were dirty or changed the menu, Ray couldn't just cancel their franchise contract. But he could evict them from the building. Game over.
Oh wow, so he owned them.
Completely. And you see this exact model today with Amazon and sellers on its platform. Amazon controls the marketplace. That's their real estate. If you break their rules, you're off the platform. Same power dynamic.
Okay, so the real estate thing was brilliant. But what about the brothers?
That's where this gets dark. Remember, the brothers' contract gave them control over everything inside the restaurants. The menu, the quality standards, all of it.
That sounds pretty tight.
It was. But here's the loophole. It said nothing about the land underneath. Think of it like this. They controlled the recipe, but not the kitchen's lease.
So Ray just went around them?
Completely. First test, Ray wanted to use powdered milkshakes instead of real ice cream to save franchisees thousands on freezer costs. The brothers said absolutely not. It's a quality issue.
Let me guess, Ray did it anyway.
Yep, made it a requirement in the lease agreement with his real estate company, not the franchise agreement. The brothers were furious but legally powerless.
That's cold.
It gets worse. Eventually, Ray has all the power and all the money, so he decides to buy them out completely. He offers them $2.7 million.
That's a lot of money, right?
In 1961, yeah. But the brothers wanted one more thing, 1% of all future profits, forever.
Did they get it?
Ray agreed, but only as a handshake deal. He never put it in writing.
Oh no.
He never paid them a single cent. That 1%? Today, it would be worth billions per year. That handshake cost them everything.
That's insane.
And here's the final twist. Ray even took their name. The brothers had to rename their original restaurant because Ray owned the exclusive rights to McDonald's.
Their own name?
Their own name. Then, Ray opened a McDonald's right across the street and drove them out of business.
Now, most people hear this story and think Ray Kroc is pure evil. And I get it. He was ruthless. But there's actually another way to look at this whole situation that most people miss.
Okay, here's where I'm going to lose some of you. Everyone sees Ray Kroc as the villain who stole from the brothers, right?
I mean, he kinda did.
True. But hear me out. Both men got exactly what they wanted.
Wait, how? The brothers lost billions.
Did they, though? Their goal wasn't to build a global empire. They wanted to be millionaires by age 50 and retire comfortably. And they did. That $2.7 million in 1961, that's about $10 million each in today's money.
Okay, but they could have been billionaires.
Could they? Remember, they tried franchising before Ray. They hated it. Every franchisee cut corners, changed the menu, destroyed their quality standards. The brothers weren't built for scale. They were perfectionists.
That's fair, I guess.
They retired, enjoyed their lives, and according to their family, had no regrets. They valued quality over quantity. They won on their terms.
But the handshake deal, that's still messed up.
Absolutely. That was their mistake, not Ray's crime. Legally speaking, a handshake deal is worth zero in court. That's the lesson.
So you're defending him?
No, I'm saying it's not black and white. Here's what the movie doesn't show. Without Ray, McDonald's stays one restaurant. The brothers couldn't scale it themselves. They already proved that.
So Ray was necessary?
He wasn't just ruthless, he was essential. The system needed someone willing to enforce standardization obsessively, to find the right franchisees, to pivot the business model. The brothers created the product. Ray created the empire.
That's actually a fair point.
The real question is, which one deserves to be called the founder, the inventors or the scaler?
Honestly, I don't know anymore.
And that's the point. The movie wants a villain and a victim, but the real lesson is simpler. Innovation gets you started, execution builds empires, and contracts protect everyone. Both men made rational choices based on different definitions of success.
Okay, I can see that perspective.
So here's my question for all of you watching. Is Ray Kroc the villain or the visionary? Drop your take in the comments.
Yeah, seriously. And would you have been Ray or the brothers?
Let us know below. All right, let's make this practical. 3 moves you can use right now.
I'm ready.
First, always ask yourself, what business am I really in? The brothers thought they were in the burger business. They were actually in the systems business. Ray figured out he wasn't in the burger business. He was in real estate.
How do I figure that out for my business?
Look at where the most value is created. Is it your product, your distribution, your data? If you're a content creator, you're not in the entertainment business. You're in the audience business. If you're building an app, you might not be in the software business. You're in the platform business.
Okay, that's a good reframe.
Second, everything in writing. Everything. That handshake deal cost the brothers billions.
The contract thing.
Exactly. If you're starting a business with partners, founders agreement, IP assignment, equity splits, vesting schedules, all of it in writing, even if you're best friends.
What if I totally trust my co-founder?
Contracts aren't for when you trust each other. They're for when you don't. A good contract protects the friendship because everyone knows exactly what they agreed to.
That makes sense.
Third, define success on your terms before you start. The brothers wanted to be millionaires by 50 and retire. They did. Ray wanted a global empire. He got it. They just had different scoreboards.
So know what you're actually chasing?
Exactly. If your goal is work-life balance and $5 million in the bank, don't chase the unicorn that requires 80-hour weeks. Success is hitting your target, not someone else's. So remember that handshake deal from the beginning?
The $1 billion one?
Yeah, now you know the whole story. Ray Kroc called himself the founder, but the real founders, Dick and Mac McDonald, got erased from history.
And it all came down to what was in writing.
Exactly. So here's our question for you. If you had the McDonald brothers system, would you stay small and perfect like they wanted, or go big and imperfect like Ray did?
Yeah, drop your answer in the comments. Quality or scale? We actually want to know.
And if this changed how you think about business, hit that subscribe button and drop a like. It helps us make more breakdowns like this.
Yeah, the algorithm loves it when you smash that like button.
And hey, if you loved this breakdown, we've got a whole library of movies just like this.
Yeah, we've already covered few movies, and it's updating weekly.
And here's the thing, we're not just doing movie reviews. We go deep into the business and financial concepts that actually matter.
Real strategies, real lessons, real money moves you can use.
So check out our previous episodes.
Links are in the description.
All right, that's it for this one.
Thanks for watching.
Drop those comments below. Quality or scale? We want to know.
And we'll see you next time.